Let's just say you've been able to put a dent in the personal credit space when it comes to a polished credit profile, you have a reasonable, stable income, or aspiring entrepreneur and small business owner. Which formation will get you the highest credit limits with American Express on the business side when it comes to being a sole proprietorship or an LLC or some type of corporation? Which is going to lead to you getting the higher limits? Let's have this conversation again from a professional, as a banker, and from the personal experience side of this. I want to give you context to the experience that I've had, and I want to give you context to what I've seen with my clients when you are applying for business credit cards and you're doing it from a sole proprietorship perspective and you're doing it from an LLC or some type of corporation perspective. Because boy, there's a difference. So let's get down to the grassroots of what would determine the underwriting between these two and why they make a difference at all. When you're setting up business entity and you're deciding whether or not you want to participate in it as a sole proprietorship or you want to do it under some type of corporation, you want to take the extra effort and gumption it takes to do it under an LLC or a corporation. You're basically deciding if your business is dense enough, has enough growth potential to justify the effort it takes to get an EIN, separate your taxable liability, to get a business entity that separates you from the entity to some degree, like a corporation or LLC. And you're making that decision to say, is it worth paying that money or taking the time out to go form an LLC or pay some entity to form an LLC to register with these different entities, to have to get logos, branding, and all this other stuff, website, domain name, and a totally different entity name versus keeping it all in my name and keeping it simple. If you deal with a tax professional, if you deal with a lawyer or attorney who's helping you do entity formation, they're going to help you draw the line and whether or not it's even worth it based on how much money your entity is making and bringing in, how much growth potential, what are your plans with this entity. The American Express underwriters are going to be looking at the same thing. As big as and deep as the pockets of American Express and other entities may be, it's finite. At any given time, there's so much money they're willing to lend. There's so much risk appetite they're willing to lend on consumer and business credit cards. So when I have two entities in front of me doing applications at the same time and everything else is relatively equal, one entity behind it, one person, same income, same credit profile, everything else I'm measuring is about the same. But one is a sole proprietorship, one is an LLC. Who's more attractive to me if I'm American Express doing underwriting? The LLC is going to be more attractive. The corporation will be more attractive because you are inherently telling me as a sole proprietorship that you have likely low income, low earnings, low revenue, and you don't have strong long-term growth projections when you're a sole proprietorship, because you haven't even taken the time out to separate tax liability, separate legal liability, to go out of your way to create a website, branding, logo, and any other fundamental items needed to structure out your business, to promote to your clientele or your customer base. You haven't even gone as far enough to separate that and create an actual structure that can eventually stand up on its own. So that means essentially that you're not worried about tax liability, tax benefits, or legal liability. That basically means that you clearly don't have that much in expenses for me to have to lend out to you to try to make a profit from if I'm American Express. Think about it for a second. If I have a relatively defined checkbook, I got two applications in front of me. One is telling me that I don't have a deeper vision for this business at this time. Another one is telling me I've gone out of my way to completely separate tax and legal liability, get the best tax and benefits, and promote a totally different entity structure to my clientele and customers. Totally different domain name that can be built upon into something scalable. Every single successful business you do business with, grocery stores, buy your clothes and shoes from, buy your accessories from, buy your technology from, anything you can think of that you do consistent business with, how many of them are sole proprietorships? Next to none. At best, maybe you go support some local clothes brand shop, t-shirt shop. Maybe you go support some local food truck or a mom and pop restaurant. 9 out of 10 times, almost everybody you do real business with repetitively is going to be some type of LLC or corporation structure. That's the same thing American Express is going to be looking at when they're determining who they're going to do business with business lending. It gets deeper than that, but I want to give you a surface level, decisive structure or construct to see this in when you're applying for business credit cards with American Express, because they're going to be looking at this thinking the same thing. If all other financial metrics are good, I'll approve you, but you're going to get that $3,000 or $4,000 limit while that LLC gets $14,000, $15,000, or $25,000 in the same application, because you are showing me that you may have higher expenses, you have higher growth projections and growth potential beneficial as an LLC or some type of corporation because you've taken the time out to build the foundation for it. When you're a sole proprietorship, you have not. Keep this in mind when you're applying, my pioneers. This is what you need to know when you're going for credit with these entities. You can't even build business credit as a sole proprietorship because your social security number can't have a reporting as an entity per se. But it's not even building business credit. They don't even report it because it's your social security number. So there's minimal reporting happening there. Something important for you to keep in mind. Comment down below and let me know what your success has been applying for business credit as a sole proprietorship. Let me know what it has been applying as an LLC or a corporation. Let me know the difference you've experienced because I've experienced tens of thousands of dollars in differences doing it as a sole proprietorship with American Express and other institutions and doing it as an LLC. Other than that, to all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. I want each of you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.